Hello and welcome to my Brooklyn kitchen. Here we are, another episode. We have a lot to do today. This is going to be a two-part episode, and I don't know if each part is going to be cleanly separate from the rest. So today we're making turkey pot pie. I was going to do so we have turkey from the farmer's market, and we have this lovely butter from the farmer's market, and so we're gonna make some dough and we're gonna make some filling, and I was gonna do them as two separate episodes, but I think I'm gonna do one really long episode and put it out in two parts because there's a lot of moving parts here, and this is how I feel like doing it, so that's what we're gonna do today.
Farmer's market on. Go down to the farmer's market to see what we can find.
Okay, so these are just gonna sit here. We have our beautiful broth. I'm gonna at one point give it a strain, but then that's what we're gonna use that's gonna be we're turning it into a velouté, okay? So that's what's happening. While our turkey legs, go from molten lava to just slightly molten, we're gonna put our butter. We're gonna roll out our dough and get our butter inside and get that going, because the filling is getting prepared more quickly than the dough, so whatever, but yeah, I'm getting that. Ooh. Okay, you have your piece of butter. It's a bit too cold at this point. So temperature is really important when you're making doughs like this. Oh, look how nicely this comes away from the plastic. I was really worried that it was gonna maybe stick. Okay, this is a bit sticky still. So I'm gonna lay some flour down. And this is the pan that I'm going to use for our pot pie. I thought I had a pie plate. I guess I don't know where it went. Oh, look how soft and supple this dough is. So gorgeous. Let me just show you. So nice. So I'm just going to roll it out. Okay, we have our rolling pin, we have our flour. And remember that we are going to be enveloping this piece of butter in this dough. So what you have to do is you have to actually roll out the dough pretty large so that you can get the butter on the inside and then fold it around. And luckily the elasticity of this dough that I've created is a lot, so it's easy to roll out. Oh, don't you just love working with dough? It's really fun. I love it. Okay. This looks nice and large, and make sure you use a good amount of flour here. You want to make sure it's not sticking to your table. You don't need to use too much, but you have to make sure that there's flour between your work surface and the dough. Try not to get too much on top, because we want the, in fact, if you have visible dough on the top of this, kind of like just wipe it off or like kind of rub it in, because we want the dough to stick to the butter. Okay. Okay, so we have our dough in the middle of, we have our butter in the middle of our dough. We're gonna fold it up and over, and we're gonna brush away any excess flour every time we do that. I'm making this up, I've never done this before, but this is how I'm deciding to do it right now. This little edge is a little bit thick, so I'm gonna just keep pulling it until, because you don't want like a big thick piece of dough in the middle of these like nice layers that we're trying to make. Okay. See, this is a little thick on this edge. I'm just going to kind of thin it out a bit. We are going to roll this and fold it a few times. So the layers will eventually thin out. I just don't want to, I'm just trying to you know, just cope ahead and troubleshoot for any potential future problems. Oopsie. Okay. Oh, I have this like little edge of butter that's not allowing. I'm gonna do this in two then. Like that. And like that. Okay, we've got like a bizarre shape, and like our dough is really thin on one side and really thick on the other side. So I don't know what to do about that, but this is what I've created. So now I might roll it out again because it feels pretty flexible. And maybe I can get it into like a rectangle-ish shape, and then it will be easier to fold. I'm going to add some more flour, especially since the pastry is really thin on the underside. That's the side I'm going to work with facing up, because I don't really want a hole to tear in it. I want to pay attention to it. And that's also the side that I'm going to fold on the inside when we do our next fold. So it's slightly breaking through right here. So I'm going to add a little bit of flour on there. And that is going to be, I think we're ready to do a tri-fold. This is going to go in like this. I'm going to brush off any excess flour. So if you feel that it's wet, it needs a little flour. But otherwise it doesn't need flour. So that's the trick. And now we're gonna maybe roll this out slightly bit more so that I have a little more room to work with to fold it over. Okay. And now, I folded this one over too much, so okay. Just refold, no problem. And this one goes all the way over. Okay, no, I could do it a little bit than that. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to get it into like thirds. Fantastic. Okay. Now really what I could do is try to roll it out one more time and then fold it in thirds again and then let it sit. And I might do that. I'm feeling risky today. But if this is your first time, maybe put this in the fridge at this point, because, I mean, this is technically my first time, but it's not my first time doing this technique. Okay, so I am going to roll it out one more time. Like I said, this is kind of a risky move. So if this is your first time, just chill it at this point and then do this step. Or risk it and do it like this, like me. Oh, I love how elastic this dough is that I made, so it's like really not breaking. It's really forgiving so far, so that's good. Okay, now I'm going to fold this into three. Oh, now we have a beautiful, perfect square. Nearly perfect. Okay. Okay. Better wrap this in plastic now again. I saved the plastic from before, so look at that. Oh, this is cute. I want to show you. Okay, this is a part that I don't love, but it's necessary. And sometimes it's nice to do it with gloves on. I don't have any gloves. So you're just gonna take the meat from the bones, and if you have good meat from the farmer's market, like I got, it's gonna be really sticky, but that's kind of nice. So I like to shred this, and then I'm gonna just like chunk it up right before it goes in the into the pie. I'm gonna remove any of this big flabby bits of skin and fat. If you want to include that, please be my guest. Oh, these are still hot. So if there's any kind of little bones, like this is a tough little bone, just take that out. We don't want anyone choking on that. There's another bone. If you're having a really hard time pulling this off the bone, that means that this wasn't cooked for long enough. You can probably just throw it back in the pot and cook it for a few more minutes, or like maybe 30 more minutes. I don't know. Also, if you don't want to feel pain, let these cool down sufficiently. Da, 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 da. I never learn. You know, old habits die hard. Oh yeah, so you got these tiny little bones that someone could like, or just like wouldn't feel good in your throat. So just make sure that's why I'm tearing it with my hands, and then also I'm gonna chop that. And anything that wants to stay on the bone, like I'm not gonna fight with it too much. Okay, so pretty much everything is off of here that I would want. Oh, there's this little tenderloin-ish thing right over here that I could take. Oh yeah, that's actually a good piece. Okay. So I'm just gonna do this exact thing with these other two, and then I might go back to, and work on the dough again. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure yet. Stay tuned. Fantastic. Okay. This is all our turkey. These are our bones. These are gonna go in the trash. Since we already boiled them and stuff, they've done everything they can do. And yep, that's it. And I'm just gonna show you what the turkey looks like up close, and then I'm gonna roll out. I wish I had set a timer for when I put the dough back in the oven, in the fridge. But it's probably been something like 30 minutes. Normally when I'm making puff pastry, you would want to wait like an hour or something, but because this dough seems so elastic, I think I can kind of get away with rolling it out now, or at least I'm going to try, and we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to get rid of this, give this area a bit of a wipe, and we'll go back to dough. Here we are. Oh, look at our little parcel. So unwrapping and saving our plastic, because we're gonna do the exact same thing we just did before. Like we might do a trifold, roll it out, another trifold, and then put it back in the fridge, let it sit again, and then we're gonna roll it out, and that will be our dough, and I think that will be enough. But you could just keep going and keep going for really probably an infinity. I don't know how long you could like keep trifolding this and getting thinner and thinner layers, but that would be a fun experiment if someone wanted to take that and do that. Okay. Flouring everything again. So we're gonna go lengthwise. This dough is, I keep saying it, very elastic. It's really nice. So last time we folded it like this. So I'm rolling it out like this so that I'll turn it and then I can fold it like that. Okay, oh, this dough is so pretty. Might go a tiny bit more. Now, dust this off. It's like a little tacky because there wasn't any, we didn't put too much flour on the top, so that's good. So fold it. And take that out, whatever that is. Okay, dust, dust, dust. And you did a trifold, yay. Okay, now we're going to do that again. You can see the layers of butter through here. It's very beautiful. Okay, do your last trifold. Whoa, that's a piece of turkey still going there. Okay, now, it's so beautiful. I can't describe to you. So let this rest again, and I think I'm gonna give it a good 40 minutes this time since it's the last one. But while I'm doing that, I'm gonna finish up the filling for the turkey pie. Okay, this is our strained turkey stock, and there's like nice cap of fat on there because we didn't take the skin off when we were boiling them. And that's great. That's just gonna add some nice richness to the dish. I don't mind that at all. If you don't want it, you can totally skim it off. So now the plan is I'm gonna make a roux in the pot and then pour this broth in, and that's how you make a velouté. So I'm gonna head to the stove and get that started. Okay, we have our melted butter. I'm adding flour. Oof. Let's see. That's definitely enough. Try not to spill it all over your kitchen, but if you do, that's fine. And now I'm going to cook this. Oh, I might need to add a little more butter. Yeah, I'm going to add a little more butter, and then I'm going to cook it around, and you'll see me add the broth. Okay, see how this is cooking, and it is kind of like wet looking. That's how you want it. So you just want this to cook a little bit, and Then, because the broth is hot and the roux is hot, we're gonna add the broth a little bit at a time and whisk around so that we don't get lumps of roux. Okay, I just decided to do this like this because I felt bad you couldn't see. Okay. I want to wait till this comes up to a boil again. I don't want this to get too runny. I'm already like having flashbacks from the poutine episode. Okay, this is boiling. I'm gonna add more stock. And then I think I'm gonna leave it there. And it's nice, we have a little bit of turkey broth left over, so that's great. I'm going to add some salt and pepper to this. If you want to add sage or poultry spice or anything like that, that would be super yummy. We hadn't put any salt in here, so just don't judge me. Or like try it out yourself and try adding like a tiny, not if you have heart disease. If you have heart disease, don't do this, but if you do not have heart disease, try adding like a pinch extra of salt, like more than you put how much you think you should, and then add 1 pinch more and then see if you like it better than you did before. Gorgeous. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. It tastes so good. Whoa. That is because those are beautifully raised turkeys. Very flavorful. I like to put a lot of black pepper. Okay, well that's how you make turkey gravy if you're wondering. Okay, great. Now we add our vegetables. Okay, here's our incredibly delicious gravy. Here are our beautifully sauteed vegetables. I think we're done with the whisk at this point. So, these are our sweated vegetables, carrots, onions, celery. If you were to add peas, I would recommend you don't sweat them, just add them at this point, fresh or frozen. And yeah. Okay, here's our turkey. I went through it so thoroughly with my hands that I actually am not gonna run through it with a knife. If you want it to be a finer texture, please be my guest. I already said that already. But please like chop it up if that's what you like. This was gonna be a bit rustic, so this is rustic shredded turkey. Okay, and then fold this all together. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, I want to make sure you have extra for the bottom piece has to be bigger, right? Because you need room for all the sides. So, okay, keep going. This is where you want to make sure that there's a little bit of flour always underneath your dough. On top too, why not? When you're working with dough, move with confidence because it can smell fear, but if you just work like you know what you're doing, it will be fine. Getting extremely thin on this side. I made a tiny hole. It's okay. Just patch it up, squish it back together. So you can see the places that are thicker and the places that are more thin. And you want to try to put the pin on the places that are slightly thicker. Go a little more. I'm flying a little too close to the sun here, I think, but that's okay. I can see it's a little thicker here in the middle. I want to stretch that out a tiny bit. Oh, I'm sticking to the cutting board. Gotta be careful. Okay. Time to say when. Okay, so now I'm gonna just measure like this. I think it's something like that. Gorgeous. Now we have our pan. Let's try to get this, make sure it's not stuck. Okay. You can use your cutting. Whoa! What you really don't want to do is spill your beer on top of your just beautifully rolled dough that you took a lot of time to roll. Okay, so you can kind of like flip it over your rolling pin and flip it into the pan. And if you have any holes, try to make those parts not on the very bottom. Snuggle your little dough in here all through the edges. Hopefully there's a little lip hanging over. If there's not, just kind of, I'm using on this side where it's thicker, like from the part that was in the middle that was thicker, I'm stretching it with my fingers. Okay, We have relatively full coverage. I kind of want these to be a little longer, but I think our top piece will be able to sandwich these pieces together. Okay, this is what we have. Okay, this is the best that we could do. It's not full coverage, but we did what we could do. Now, and if you wanted to like trim a little from this side and put it over here, maybe that'll do that. Look, this corner has a lot, this corner doesn't have them so much. There. Great. Filling. Here we have our filling. Our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. That happened a while ago. I didn't tell you, but that did happen. Okay, spread it out. Wow, it looks really, really delicious. If someone made this for me, I'd be like, wow, thank you so much. Okay. Settle that in there. Okay, same thing with your rolling pin and make sure everything's not stuck. I always feel like Snow White when I top a pie like this. And look at that. We have full coverage. Now obviously the crust is a very important part, so we're gonna nestle it down onto the top of the pie filling. And wherever there's excess, we are going to kind of crimp that together. But I just want to make sure where it was like lacking a little bit on the bottom crust that there's crust touching crust so that it seals. This extra I think I might do something fun on the top here as like a little decorative thing. Okay, so we're gonna crimp this kind of like you would a regular pie crust. I'm gonna kind of just fold this together. Add extra where it needs. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna actually nestle this crust down below the perimeter of our dish here. Can I say why? I'm not quite sure, but I just feel like it's better that way and probably will not burn. Oh, I could egg wash the outside of this. Wow, it feels so nice. Hello. Here we are. They're still very warm, but less warm than it was before. Pie in the shape of a square, rectangle. I'm gonna cut a slice for myself, and then I'm gonna taste it, and I know it's gonna be super delicious. I like almost. This is like a cliche, but it's like sad to ruin this because I know as soon as I cut into it, it is gonna like all leak out and whatever, but still you have to do it. So time to cut in. I think this beautiful corner piece is what I'm going to try to take because it seems like there's the most crust in that part and I love the crust. So listen. It's gonna be so crispy. Okay, ready? I love that it comes away from the sides of the pan too. Like, that's great. This was an experiment with the dough. So far, I'm extremely pleased with how it's turned out. It's still very soupy. I didn't wait long enough. I waited like 45 minutes. I couldn't wait any longer. I have stuff to do. It's getting late. I started this episode way too late in the day. Smells incredible. Here's my piece. Look how hot it is still on the inside. It's still smoking hot. Wow. It just looks like what you want your pot pie to look like, and I don't know if you can get, like, if you can see this, like the layers of crust and dough. On this side it's actually incredible. You can see all the layers that we like worked so hard to make. I don't have a fork, obviously. I waited 45 minutes, couldn't even get a fork for myself. Okay, here we are, ready to go. Looks so good. I hope I don't burn it. It's not going to burn me. Yeah, if you make this for any person in the world, they'll be like, oh, you're the best cook I've ever tasted. This is so good. It's obviously super rich, but like, when are you getting a not rich chicken pot pie or turkey pot pie? Mmm. Mmm. The crust is ridiculously good. Like, I can't describe to you the crispy butteriness that you get. Yeah, so good. Wow. I did it again, everybody. I made something so incredibly delicious, it's almost indescribable. The contrast of the crust, like, okay, I think it's partially the farmer's market butter, I'm not gonna lie. But if you used regular butter, it would probably still be good. And, you know, you could use margarine if you are in a bind. But just the, like, actually, it'd have to be a specific type of margarine for the right texture. Anyway, that is besides the point. This is so good. The crust is buttery, flaky, crispy, but like there are parts of it that are still like chewy and not super crispy. And then the like turkey and the carrots and the celery and onions are just like super savory and tasty. So it's like you got this like sweet pastry crust and then the super savory filling. I'm honestly shocked at how good it is. I'm about to eat this whole thing right now. Yeah, this is like stupidly delicious. Please try to make this if you can. It, like, the crust has some strength to it, and that's because of the way we made it. But like I got this corner piece and like it almost makes it like more delicious. This is like eating puff, like a croissant, but like if you use puff pastry and made this, it's not going to taste the same. I don't know, people. Something miraculous just happened and this is super, super good. So yeah, if you can follow along, let me know how it goes. I'm gonna divvy this up and share it with my friends. I kind of planned on this being the last episode, but like I might just like throw this in the middle of November. This is either coming out in March or November. So if it comes out in March, great. If it comes out in November, like happy holidays and everything. Yeah, because this would be a really good turkey leftover recipe. Damn, so good. One of the better things I've ever made, especially like, you know, freestyle. Try it out and let me know how it goes. That's it.
Farmers market.